So here we go. Welcome to Caleb's Basketball Pod. As promised, we would review the reserves, the All-Star reserves that were announced just last night. And we would compare and talk about what I picked and what I said may happen and what did happen. So let's kick things off. Let's start off with our Western Conference All-Star reserves. In the guard spots, we have Anthony Edwards, James Harden, Jalen Williams. In the forward spot, we have Anthony Davis, Victor Wembanyama, Alperen Sengun, and Jaren Jackson Jr. I picked Davis, I picked Victor, I picked Jaren Jackson, I picked Sengun. Guard-wise, I believe I had Devin Booker in there. And I don't think I had Harden. I believe it was Anthony Edwards, Devin Booker, and Jalen Williams that I had. So 6 of 7. Not bad. In my opinion, I do think Devin Booker deserved an All-Star spot, but I also mentioned that James Harden may get one just because of the fact that the Clippers are playing really good basketball right now. And I do believe, they deserve to have an All-Star. Norman Powell is also in consideration, I believe, to get an All-Star. And at the end of the day, it can't all be about numbers. But James Harden, he's had a really, really good season this year. Anthony Edwards, well-deserving. I mentioned Jalen Williams, and I said he should most definitely make it because he is, in my opinion, he's the number 2 in Oklahoma. And for Oklahoma to reach a higher peak and a higher level in the playoffs, he has to be the number 2, and he has to grow, and he has to learn how to be a number 2. Well, being around a bunch of All-Stars, playing on an All-Star team, I believe that helps him get to that number 2 spot. I said Sengun because right now the Houston Rockets currently sit number 2 in the Western Conference, and they deserve to have an All-Star. In my opinion, Alperen Sengun's been their best player. I mentioned Jaren Jackson Jr. I said he was the heart of the Memphis Grizzlies. They sit number 3 in the Western Conference, so well-deserved that. Anthony Davis, stellar season. Victor Wembanyama, no matter the Spurs record, you can't deny how good he's played. And Anthony Edwards has played amazing all season. So very deserving all Western Conference reserves. And, he's going to have people that's saying, well, this guy deserves it and this guy don't and all of this stuff. I think, Devin Booker, in my opinion, Western Conference, maybe Sabonis, probably the possible All-Stars, in my opinion, of guys that could have made it. I think both of them's had stellar seasons. But I also think, like I said, it kind of does come to the record, and that team's record's just not there. So I completely get the choice to go James Harden, the choice to go Jaren Jackson, Anthony Davis, and you can't deny Jackson, Davis, Sengun, or Wembanyama because all of them's had amazing years, and they all have a better record than the Kings. And all in all, I think they've all played better than Sabonis, in my opinion. Let's move to the Eastern Conference. At our guard slots, we have 4 guards here. We have Darius Garland, Cade Cunningham, Damian Lillard, and Tyler Hero. I believe I said Tyler Hero and Dame made their claims to be All-Stars. I believe I had Trae Young and LaMelo Ball in there just because I said Dame because Giannis was always in the game, but you can't deny the season Damian Lillard's had. He's averaging over 25 points a game, and just because Giannis has been so special doesn't mean Dame has not been special, because Dame Lillard's had an amazing season too himself. LaMelo Ball, I want to talk about this real quick. Yes, he's had a great year, but he's also missed a lot of time. He is averaging a lot of points, averaging a lot of assists, and all of that. I get it. But sometimes an All-Star is also about winning and knowing when you have this guy, your team can win any game, and that's just not the case for Charlotte. And I know it's not a great built team, but I do think with missing a lot of time, weeks at a time, and the fact that Charlotte's bad, I think that adds up to not be an All-Star, and I get it. It's unfortunate because he really has had an amazing season, and it's apparent the fans wanted to see him in the All-Star game. But you can't deny that Damian Lillard deserves it. You can't deny that Tyler Herro deserves it, because Tyler Herro is doing this. When I mentioned Tyler Herro, he's doing this and having a career year in line of all this bullcrap that's going on in Miami, of Jimmy Butler not wanting to be there, Jimmy Butler causing disruptions, and all of that's going on as Tyler Herro was going off night in and night out, and the stuff he's dealing with and still putting up the numbers he is, and he's having the career year, well deserved for him. And I want to say to people saying he don't deserve it, they're completely wrong. It takes a lot to be able to go out and play basketball amidst all this stuff going on. I applaud Tyler Herro, well deserved. Dame Lillard's stellar season, well deserved. Cade Cunningham, about time he's an all-star. I've seen it coming for years. Detroit's been usually bad, but as I've spoke on before, JB Bickerstaff has them boys balling. So we love that, and great to see Motorcade get the spot he deserves. Darius Garland, people's going to say, oh, well, Cleveland should have this, or they should only have one, or this or that. You can say whatever you want. And I'll speak on the forwards in a little bit. But Cleveland's the best team record-wise in the NBA currently. They deserve 3 All-Stars, and Darius Garland has played like an All-Star this year. And Evan Mobley has played like an All-Star this year. And each of them, along with Donovan Mitchell, and even Jared Allen, who you can say is a snub too, have all been a big, huge part of why Cleveland has the best record in the league. So I believe Cleveland deserves 3 All-Stars, and I'm happy for them too. And DG had a horrible season last year. He said himself his jaw was wired shut at this point last season. Great to see him get this second All-Star nod. Well deserved, DG. Now let's move to our forwards east. Let's see. Forwards would be Pascal Siakam, Evan Mobley, and Evan Mobley, and Jaylen Brown. That's all of them. Okay, well, there's no denying Jaylen Brown is an all-star. We all know that, averaging over 25 points a game, second to Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum, starter for Boston Celtics, and there's no denying that. You could even say anyone over him. I called Pascal Siakam because we needed multiple forwards. I may have had Jaylen Brown in with the guards. I'm not 100% sure, but they put him in with the forwards. I don't remember, but I do remember saying Pascal Siakam, Jaylen Brown, and Evan Mobley. So I believe I was 5 of 7 on the East, not bad, and 6 of 7 on the West, not bad. So all in all, pick-wise, I did pretty good on that. Just from what I'm watching and I'm seeing, these men deserved it, and there's no denying that. And getting back to what I was talking about for forwards, can't deny Jaylen Brown deserved it. Man's second on a championship team. He's the number 2 guy on a championship team. Stellar performance after stellar performance. I love Jaylen Brown's game. And yes, of course, he's an all-star. Now we move to Pascal Siakam. Pacers are hovering around that play-in area, 6, 7, 8, around that area. But a big part of that has been Pascal Siakam. He has consistently been the guy who shows up the most for the Indiana Pacers. And I applaud the season he's having, and he's getting back to that all-star form. We saw a couple down seasons for him, but he's back, in my opinion. He's back to doing what he's supposed to do and what he knows how to do, and he's playing a really good brand of basketball. And like I said, I love his consistency, and there's no doubt in my mind he deserves to be an all-star. And then for selection for Evan Mobley, people are saying, oh, well, maybe Sky Barnes is the best guy from the draft, or this or that. I still think, in my opinion, the best all-around player from that draft is Evan Mobley. I think we're finally seeing it, and he's finally showing it, and he's showing out. And well-deserved on his first All-Star appearance, and he's also up, in my opinion, top 5 for Defensive Player of the Year. More than likely, that'll probably go to Victor Wembanyama. But I think Jaren Jackson and Evan Mobley have a right to be in that conversation, too, if we're really talking and breaking it down. And if you look at guards, guys like Dyson Daniels deserves to be in that talk as well. But nonetheless, this has been my All-Star Reserve episode. I just want to give applause and congratulations to everyone who made it. You all worked your butt off to get there, so congratulations. Congratulations on the All-Star nods, and it only goes up from here to everyone who made it. And when we come back Monday, we're going to talk about some stories. For all we know, there may be some trades over the weekend, trade deadlines this upcoming Thursday. This is going to be a really good, interesting week. Stick with me. We're going to break down a lot. We're going to break down trades and everything, games. It's going to be a fun week of basketball, so stick with me here. But nonetheless, I'll see you Monday, and have a great night.